Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktails Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Boise State wins this one 63-58 over San Francisco here at ExtraMile Arena. Appreciate you for checking us out. My name is BJ Rains, and this is Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from the Cutwater Mobile Studios. Make sure you pick up one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at a local Cutwater supplier, gas station, grocery store near you. So would love your thoughts on the game. Boise State 2-0. Got a big gauntlet ahead, but they get the win. They're 2-0 on the season, and would love to get your comments, your thoughts on this one, and we'll get to those here on the postgame show. I know there's some NFL football going on, obviously a lot of football news at Boise State, so some folks may be watching this later in the day or tomorrow. I get that, but it's a Sunday afternoon, and we're talking Boise State basketball with you here at Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor, Rowpaint.com, wants to remind you, get out there and get one of their concrete coatings. 5 times stronger than epoxy. Highly recommend the concrete coatings from Andy Rowe and our friends out at rowpaint.com. But right now they're doing residential, industrial, all different kinds of painting. So all your painting needs, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, our title sponsor. Go support them, rowpaint.com. Okay, again, Boise State wins this one. The final score, 63-58. And how nice is it to have Tyson Degenhart back? Tyson Degenhart returns for Boise State, and right away, the Broncos look like a much better team. The big three tonight: Tyson Degenhart, 17 points. Chibuzo Abo had 15, and Max Rice had 15. So to be able to get, Boise State's kind of key players all clicking, there's not going to be a lot of teams Boise State plays this year where those 3 players aren't going to be as good as the 3 players are on the other team. Their top 3, Boise State's top 3, are going to be pretty good top 3. I think many games their top 3 is going to be better than the other top 3 moving forward. We are going to need our Matt Bauscher player of the game, Bauscher Real Estate. Make sure you check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. So if you're looking for a player of the game, make sure you let us know in the comments who you would pick, and we'll award that later on in the show. But interesting day. You got the news of Andy Avalos being fired on the football side, and then obviously, people here talking football, talking basketball, and watching the game, but kind of knowing, I probably had 20 people stop by and ask me who is going to be the next coach of the football team. So that was the dominant talk today was football and what's going to happen there. But obviously, we'll talk basketball today and get to the football talk. But I think it was just a kind of a weird day with all day the football talk, and then you had a basketball game to watch and cover as well. So I do have one eye on our Circa Sports Pick 5 contest, the Survivor contest. We've got the Buffalo Bills tomorrow, and a lot of teams got knocked out today. Thank you to the Houston Texans. So BNN is rolling, and we need the Seahawks to potentially cover, and then if the Lions can kick a field, can score and win, we might win that one as well. So we got an eye on the NFL, but I'll check that later. We're talking basketball here. Not as much from the bench tonight. They kind of rode the starters, which I think is going to happen a lot when it comes to these bigger games. But again, Tyson Degenhart, 34 minutes. He was 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, had 6 fouls drawn against him, 17 points, 3 steals and assists. I mean, Tyson Degenhart just does so much for this team. And it was so nice to see him back out there. And a shameless plug, ball talk, or ball talk on Monday, but the Tyson Degenhart show returns on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. is the return of Tyson Degenhart show. So looking forward to talking to Tyson about his mask, and looking forward to Tuesday night for Tyson Degenhart show, Tuesday at 8 o'clock on Bronco Nation News. Make sure you check that out. So I mentioned 17 for Tyson. You had 15 for Chibuzo Abo, 15 for Max Rice as well. 9 points, 4 rebounds from Omar Stanley off the bench. That was kind of your big four. And then you got that 1 3-pointer from Cam Martin. Roddy Anderson, kind of a tough night. Only 2 points for him in 29 minutes. We'll get to that. And then 2 points for RJ Keene. So that was your scoring. That was it. You didn't have a ton of scoring in this one for Boise State, but 63 points. And once again, Boise State held a team that was averaging 106 points a game through 2 games to 58 points. So I thought Boise State's defense was tremendous, particularly in the first half. Boise State was able to hold them to 24 points. I think it was about 30% shooting, 32.1 in the first half. They were only 3 of 14 from 3-point range. For the game, San Francisco went up 4 of 19 from deep. So this team had been scoring a lot of points, and they were unable to do that in this game tonight. So I really thought Boise State defensively, we saw it last year and in the previous years, they've won some of these games 42-37 at San Diego State's and lower scoring games. I think, this year, Boise State's going to score some more points, but I also think they have the ability to win some games defensively. And this was a nice step forward for the defense, 63-50. As they say, defense travels, and Boise State certainly has a tough road ahead moving forward with what they've got to do with some of these games that we'll get to, starting with Clemson next Sunday. So let's get to some of your comments on the ICCU YouTube chat. We appreciate ICCU. Check them out, iccu.com, for all your banking needs, the best in mobile eBranch online banking. We appreciate ICCU, sponsors of the Tyson Degenhart show and sponsors of our chat on the ICCU YouTube chat. So let's see some of our comments here on YouTube. Go Broncos. Fun win against a good team. Great day to be a Bronco. Great game. Onward to more greatness to come. Good to see go Broncos. Yeah, get Kareem the Dream. Got a chance to say hello to him. So that was good. Kareem the Dream. Appreciate you for stopping by. Anderson needs to work on some things. Still super young though. Yeah, I guess we'll mention his stat line. In 29 minutes, he goes 1 of 3 from the field. He had 1 rebound, 3 fouls, 2 points, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. So, not the best game we're going to see all season, probably from Roddy Anderson. He's I think 2 of 10 now in his 2 games shooting from the field. And that was his issue last year. But it was his shooting percentage. So we'll see. It's early. Jace Whiting only played 11 minutes in this game. But had, 3 rebounds. He had a turnover, but 2 assists. So we'll see how that shakes out. I don't quite think that, they're worried about any kind of change yet or what that's going to happen in terms of the playing time there. But I do think Jace Whiting, could push Roddy Anderson at some point here if Roddy Anderson, is unable to kind of get it going here. But it's 2 games. We remember what Chibuzo Abo did in his first couple of games last year. He fouled out in 6 minutes, I think, last year and didn't score in his first game. And it took him like 3 or 4 games to get going. So wouldn't worry too much about Roddy Anderson just yet. But obviously in 2 games, not what you're wanting to see so far. Perry says grinded out type win. Gritty. It was a back and forth game. Boise State did lead from start to finish the entire game. Boise State led this one. It got down to 2 at one point in the second half. They got it to 3, got it to 4, but Boise State was able to get the stops when they needed to. And Boise State hit a couple key buckets to kind of extend the lead back out. So again, it was, like I said, I think it got down to 2, 38-36. Boise State was able to push the lead back up. It was a close game. It was within 9, 8, 7, 6, felt like kind of that 4 to 7 range for most of the game. And San Francisco, man, they were battling. They were hanging on. It was back and forth type of game. So it was a fun game, fun atmosphere, great crowd. Announced attendance 10,520. That's the largest crowd for a November game in the history of the 40-plus-year-old ExtraMile Arena. So a big crowd. The third level had folks in it, and there weren't 10,500 here, but it was that's a start for a November game on a Sunday afternoon to have an announced crowd of 10,500. So major props for the ticket sales team and everybody else. And I'm just envisioning conference play, man. If this team keeps winning, ExtraMile Arena really could be rocking here, moving in the future here. So Perry says, I think Whiting played better than Anderson. Was a little surprised Jace was on the bench at the end. Yeah, I still don't think they just love the ball handling of Jace Whiting. When you're going to get pressured, sometimes Jace has a little bit of trouble with the ball and the pressure. So I think that was really the issue there, is they wanted to get Roddy Anderson in there so he could dribble the ball and do some things there. Perry said, good energy from Keene. Yeah, I liked what Keene did tonight. Came in with that putback right away. Played 8 minutes and 51 seconds and did have that one bucket there. I liked that for sure. Keene was great off the bench. Let's see here. You never know if Keene's watching, so we always got to say nice things about Keene. 3-point field goals, free throws weren't great. Yeah, free throws were not great. Boise State missed 11 free throws tonight, but Leon said it counts as 13 because you had 2 1-and-1s that you missed also. So 12 of 23 is the official number from the foul line for Boise State, and they go 5 of 13 from 3-point range. But let's not forget they were 3 of 26 in the first game, so 5 of 13 is actually a big improvement from that one. Grand Tetons is wanting Tyson Degenhart for Matt Boucher Player of the Game. I saw another vote for him as well. Jen Walters says, good to see Tyson back. Way to go, Broncos beat Clemson. We'll talk about Clemson in the future schedule here coming up. I love the 3 from Martin. Yeah, he had another chance to hit another big 3 later in the game, which would have kind of sealed it a little earlier, and he missed it. But that's what Cam Martin can do. I mean, a lot of people were talking about Cam Martin in the last game. Cam Martin can shoot the 3. He can pump fake, drive to the hoop, and he can do a lot of things we still really haven't seen a lot of yet. So there is a lot more in the tank from Cam Martin. Logan says, went to the James for lunch. Great place, good pizza, good finger steaks, great spot to pregame. Glad to hear that, Logan. Appreciate Barry and Perry and everybody at the James for taking care of you. We always enjoy our friends over at the James. We were there last night for the post-game show. We were there Friday night for a gathering with Mike Sanford. Always love our friends at the James. And yes, if you're looking for a spot to have a couple beverages or a pizza or some food and hang out before the game, the spot to hang out is the James Kitchen and Bar. So we appreciate Barry and everybody over there. Let's see here. Best kind of win since by no means played a perfect game, and yet they were still able to beat it. Yeah, a lot of teaching points, a lot of tools for Coach Rice and all the coaches. A lot of teaching points on the film this week, things to get better at. But that is a game later in the season. I mean, that already 5 spots up. By the way, San Francisco moved up from number 90 to number 85 at KenPom. So you're going to have a team that's going to be ranked pretty high in the computer ranking because they're going to win a lot of games this year, and that's going to turn out to be a pretty good game that they're going to have their feather in their cap, as Leon would say, moving forward. Chad says, saw Jeremiah up in the balcony seats at the game. Somebody else commented about Jeremiah being there. Yeah, he was not in his typical seats. Can't imagine Jeremiah was really wanting to show his face too much around here. Tough day for him, obviously, having to relieve head coach Andy Avalos of his duties for the football team. Jeremiah was not available to the media today, but he will speak at noon tomorrow, and we will carry that live on Bronco Nation News. So be ready for Jeremiah Dickey's press conference live at noon on the social media channels of Bronco Nation News, as Boise State making the surprising change at head football coach. I think a lot of people thought it might come after the season, but they make the decision early this morning, and the report started to leak out, and then Boise State makes it official with the statement. Just surprising news, and but I think just from some things that I had heard, I mean, it was getting a little tough in there for some of the players and even some of the coaches. And I think the environment now is going to be much different. And I think you're going to see the team come out and play really well in these final 2 games. I think that, I hate to phrase it like this, but I think there's more people feeling good about, feeling better after today's news in that building than maybe before. And so, feel for Andy Avalos. He's a Boise State legend. And I hate that his, legacy is a little bit diminished now with what happened here. And I hope to catch up with him at some point and be able to maybe get him on the show here and talk about it. But I think that, that is the tough part of this, that Andy Avalos his, one of the great players, legends in Boise State history. I think his, the fact, in terms of coming back for reunions and functions and things and the brotherhood, never going to be the same for him, after he gets relieved of his duties as the head football coach. So tough one there for Andy Avalos. And now Jeremiah Dickey will start a national search to try to find a new head coach. So we'll see moving forward what happens there. But obviously the main story we're focusing on right now in the post-game show is basketball. If you want more on football, you can go, John Mallory and Mike Prater and I spent 40 minutes talking about the news this morning. You can go to the BNN YouTube channel and find that there as well. But they got the win by 3, Kareem says, but we had them at -3. So we got the push on that one. So let's see. San Francisco is a ball team, a 6'8" point guard. I was pretty impressed with them. That number 10 as well, Jonathan Mogbo, had a huge dunk on a play out of bounds and had a couple nice plays as well. I really liked that Newberry, number 21. He had 11 points. They had a couple guys that could really play. Hawthorne. So I think San Francisco is going to win a lot of games moving forward here. Josh says, deepest Bronco team I've seen in a long time, will pay dividends later in the season. I agree. I mean, they didn't really go too far down the bench in this one. They didn't need to. We didn't see much of Andrew Meadow. He only played 5 minutes. We didn't see much of Kobe Young. He played 2 minutes in this one, But again, the big three, I said it earlier, but the big three of Abo, Rice, and Degenhardt combined for 47 of the 63 points. And to have a trio like that, Boise State's going to be in a great spot for a lot of the games this season if they're able to get 15 plus points from 3 guys. Don't want to see BJ getting any sleep tonight. Way too much going on. Well, thanks, JD. Better than the heckler I had on the postgame show last night, who doesn't appreciate my work either. So there's not going to be a ton, but obviously a lot going on. And I got to continue to now start looking into the coaching search and find out kind of what went down and what was the reasonings behind this for the Andy Avalos departure. Got to write a story off this basketball game as well. So we'll, in May and June when there's not much going on, you don't have to feel sorry for me, guys, because in May and June when there's not much going on, I would love to be having days like this where we're as busy as heck. But I am going on about 3 hours of sleep. We got back at about 3:40 in the morning last night, got a little bit of sleep, and then the kids had me up at 7. Tried to have a family breakfast, went out to eat, and right as the food is coming, my son was using my phone. He says, "Your phone's been buzzing a lot, Dad." And I finally asked him to give it to me, and I look at it and got about 10 text messages and said, we're going to need to get this food to go. And then we headed home and got right to work. So that's just the way it is this time of year. And don't feel sorry for me. It's the job I signed up for. And, it's been a long 24 hours, but certainly it's going to be a long moving forward here next couple of weeks. Next week we're heading to the Utah State football game and then going to try to take a midnight red eye out to the East Coast to get in there in time for the Clemson game. So a lot of travel and times and coaching search updates and things ahead. But it's exciting time too, because I think this Boise State basketball team really has a chance to be something special here. So for the 100 of you watching this right now, this is going to be a fun team to watch, a fun team to cover all season long. Grand Tetons liked the rebounding tonight. The emphasis on rebounding over the summer seemed to have worked this far. San Francisco was actually winning on the glass for a good majority of the game, but Boise State ends up winning the glass 35-31. Boise State had 10 offensive rebounds compared to 24 defensive rebounds. So, more than 1 out of every 3 shots that went up, Boise State got the offensive rebound. So I think that is a very nice for Boise State. Andrew Meadows didn't play much yet. He had 5 minutes, missed a shot, but did have 2 rebounds. The reason that he only played 5 minutes is because Tyson Degenhardt played 34. So that's the guy that he comes in for. And so when Tyson plays a lot, Andrew Meadows just isn't going to play a lot. So we'll see how that moves, moving forward. Hey, Kip says they're over at the James right now watching the show. Put that thing on the big screen, Kip. Tell Perry to put that thing on the big screen. We don't need NFL football. Let's get the post-game show up there. So hi to everybody over there at the James. What's the issue with the sound system? It was fine last week. Today was really rough. On another note, props to whoever's making the videos. Halftime video is the best one BSU has ever had. I will look into that. I know Alyssa Perk and some of the folks there in the marketing department are doing a nice work on that. I don't know exactly who is responsible for the halftime video. I'll try to look into that. And I don't know anything on the sound system too. I know that's on the list that they need to get a new sound system at ExtraMile Arena at some point, but they've got a lot of different a lot of different things they're trying to focus on at this point, to be honest with you. So let's hear from the players. Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart both met with the media. We're first going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We got to thank a couple of our great sponsors here. So back in 90 seconds, we'll hear from Tyson Degenhart and Max Rice after Boise State's 63-58 win over San Francisco. Don't go anywhere. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. Back here courtside at ExtraMile Arena, the Cutwater Mobile Studios. Make sure to pick up one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. This may be a Cutwater night. Been a heck of a day. Probably going to be a couple Cutwaters. The Mai Tai, the mango margarita, the Long Island iced tea. This may be one that when we're finally done working tonight, or maybe while we're working when we get home, have to pop open the Cutwaters, courtesy of our friends at Cutwater Spirits. Let's keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. We'll get to those, but I do want to hear from Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart. We still have Leon Rice to come as well, but let's hear from Tyson Degenhart, Max Rice, after Boise State picks up a 63-58 win. Again, the season debut for Tyson Degenhart. First question, how did it feel to be back?
It took me a little bit to get my legs underneath me those first 8 minutes, but it felt great to help the team get a win tonight.
Feel weird playing with a mask at all, or does that kind of take a little getting used to?
I've had it for about a week, so I've gotten used to it over the last week, and I'm becoming more comfortable with it.
When you look at with the NBA, guys like Kobe, LeBron, the mask has a sort of legend to it. Do you feel special getting to put that on today?
I mean, when I've showed people pictures of the mask, they always say I look like Batman, so I think that's pretty cool.
Max, what do you think of having Tyson back out there? There was a point there in the second half where he was kind of taking over a little bit. How good was it having back?
Yeah, just playing with Tyson, I noticed not having him that first game. It makes it so much easier when you have him out there, just because you give it to him in the post and they double, and then they got to rotate and stuff like that. But he just makes it easier for all of us out there, and you kind of saw him take over there at the end.
This was a fun game, back and forth game, obviously a much different game than the other night and probably what you expected. But what was it like just to kind of go back and forth there? And they get it within 2 or 3, but you guys just kept, were able to keep the lead. I think you led the entire game.
We were just able to get stops when we needed them. They'd always go on a little run, and we'd answer back. And having these games in November is going to be huge coming down the stretch. And we have those tough conference games in January, February, and March.
Yeah, I think that was a good team. I think both of us were kind of just getting that preseason rust off a little bit. They had some possessions down the stretch that I bet they wish they could have back, and same for us. We missed a lot of free throws, and I missed a gimme, and Cam missed a gimme, and
I missed a gimme.
A bunch of us did, but we'll get that together before next week because we got a bunch of big ones in a row. So,
You guys knew kind of what they were bringing in offensively, and talking to Roddy, talking to your coach before the game. You guys said you have to focus defensively. How do you guys think you did, especially there in the first half?
I think we had probably one of our best defensive halves over, in Canada up until now, even through our scrimmages. We just got to continue that effort and make sure we can have 2 halves like that and complete a whole game.
Not to say this wasn't a big game, but knowing the games that are coming up, in terms of how tough the schedule is here, and how important was it, especially at home, to get this one?
Yeah, when you look at our schedule, I think it's probably our toughest preseason schedule just because we got at Clemson, then we got who do we got in first in the tournament?
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, VTech, and then if we win that, we got another big game, VCU or Iowa State. So, and then after that tournament, we come back and play St. Mary's. So we just got a loaded preseason, and we just got to take it one game at a time. And I think if we get out of this gauntlet with a good record, it's going to really do us well later in the season.
Tyson, how ready is this team for the gauntlet here?
I think we are. I think we showed a lot of resilience tonight. There were some possessions that we wish we could have back on defense, and then we just responded with a better defensive possession. And we're just, continuing to grow as a team and continuing to get better on the defensive end. And, as we continue to, improve our defense, some of our shots were going to fall, and it's a recipe for success for us.
A question for either of you. It looks like Chibuzo put on some muscle over the offseason. He looks a lot more physical out there. I mean, how much better has he gotten since last year?
Well, he was at Axiom the other day, and we had practice like 20 minutes later. So I think he's definitely been getting that extra work in, and you can see it out there. And also, he's been working on his post moves. I think you see that a lot too. If people don't double him, he's probably going to get a layup. So I think he's gotten a lot bigger and better.
He's a lot more comfortable in our offense coming on year 2. I know it took him a little bit to get comfortable last year, and we don't have to worry about that this year. He's ready to go.
Omar Stanley came off the pitch today, and you guys have physical presence inside. What do you see as his role in this team? What's he add to the floor?
He's a shot blocker and energy bringer. I mean, everyone likes to compare him to Naj, but they're two different players in kind of the way they play. And, it's great to have a guy like that behind you on defense that, if you get burnt, you can come over and block your shot. And he just brings so much energy and passion to the team. I love it.
Max, you guys had the lead the entire game. Made it close a couple times, but just how important was it just to not let them really get back into it?
Yeah, I think that just shows how we do have a veteran team, and even though they did make a couple runs, we kind of had them at bay there for most of the game. And I think we really rely on our defense this year. You saw Cam switch on to Mike, and he didn't even get a shot off. Cam's got great hands, and that just shows how deep we are and how we can rely on our defense this year in close games.
Well, we'll cut it there. If you want to hear the rest of that, we're going to get it up on the YouTube channel, the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel, if you want to go there and check out the post-game interviews. And look at Tyson Degenhart walking out with like 6 meals over there. Those aren't lean feast meals, I don't think, but Tyson looks like he's heading out with some food after a nice win. And again, we will have the Tuesday night of the. He's going to want to watch the Seahawks game. We're going to have to come over here and see the end of that. We've got it on the screen here. But Tyson literally has like 6 meals stacked up there as he's getting ready to head out. So it must have been some leftovers or something. But again, nice win for Boise State. Final score was 63-58. Want to hear from Leon Rice as well. So we'll take another quick time out. Thank a few of our sponsors. Again, we'll be back in 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach, Leon Rice, after the win. Again, Boise State wins this one 63-58. Don't go anywhere. Coach Rice coming up in 90 seconds. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. By the way, tomorrow morning, special show tomorrow. Make sure you join us at 9 a.m. It'll be Matt Bauscher, Travis Hawks, and Mike Prater and myself. Special edition, and we'll have to see how that's going to go because the 4 mics were not great the other night. So I may have to share some mics and see if I just thought of that. The 4 microphone system on the post-game show was not ideal. So we may have to share a couple mics. We'll figure that out. But tomorrow morning, we're going to be at the Capitol 11 building, the Pro Image area for Travis Hawks and the Blue and Orange store and their sponsorship. We'll be doing a live broadcast tomorrow, getting the thoughts on Travis Hawks and Matt Bauscher of the basketball team, but also of Andy Avalos and Jeremiah Dickey and the football program and the athletic department as a whole. Mike Prater will be there as well. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking with those guys, and I'm excited about what's ahead there for that. So it'll be should be Mike Prater, Travis Hawks, Matt Bauscher. I may actually kick Prater out and have him do the show Thursday so we can not deal with the Mike situation. I'll have to think about that. But appreciate all of you guys for watching. We got some more comments. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a second also. Let's see. Got the rest of the Degenhart dozens to go. I don't think they were Degenhart dozens, but Buzo could end up having the best season on the team. Hot take or realistic? Oh, I definitely think that Buzo could end up being the guy. I mean, he's not afraid to shoot the ball. He was 6 of 13 tonight. Sometimes, occasionally, we'll take a shot where you're kind of like, it wasn't the best shot there, but he is able to get a lot of shots up, and he's not going to get his shot blocked very often either because of the way he shoots, and we've talked about it, but how high he gets on his release, that he's not going to get his shot blocked very often at all. So I agree on that. Get your players of the game in. We'll do that here in a minute. But first, let's hear from the head coach, Boise State Broncos. That is Leon Rice, following a 63-58 win. Let's hear a couple minutes of Coach Rice here on the postgame show.
Ooh, yeah. We're a different team with him, no doubt. I mean, who wouldn't be? And you can't. There's any team in the country, you take an all-conference player off your team, and a guy like Tyson especially. You're going to notice. But, he was a little bit game rusty, not, just because he had to sit out and he had to not condition and not do anything for a couple days, just, or 3 or 4 days. And so there was probably a little bit conditioning. So I was so great, I sat him out 6 minutes. Yeah. He's my security blanket, and those guys are. And, as we go forward, those other guys are going to play more. And, they've earned some minutes tonight, and it's going to be different guys on different nights because of what we have. But they need to get that experience, those young guys, and they will. But that experience comes, you never do it at the cost of the team in any way, not that they would cost you, but they're getting their experience at practice and in the videos and all that, and so it's not always where they have to get 100 minutes in a game to get better. Those guys are going to get better and better and more comfortable, and then we'll get better as coaches, especially me, as far as figuring out what combinations are best, because there's always that, and we haven't got that all hunkered down yet, and to get our best guys out there more minutes.
Tyson just seems like the type of player that never gets rattled. How valuable is that, especially at this level?
Yeah, and it's the experience of Tyson, Buzo, Max that, those 3 are big 3 tonight, 17, 15, 15, and I thought Omar did a great job, came in 9 and 4, so, but a lot for us to get better at. And, but the thing I'm probably most proudest of is we took a really good offensive team and held them 58 points. And they're not going to be in the 50s very often this year. I'll bet they average 80 a game or close to it. They're a explosive team, and they're a lot more physical than I thought they'd be. I mean, they were physical with us all night long, and they were leading on the glass most of the night. We had, we got some at the end that were big and ended up winning the glass, and so. A really good second game, especially with what we have coming up. It made us better. And, we missed 11 free throws, but it really was 13 free throws because we missed 2 front ends. And, we'll be a good, I know you're not going to make them all, but we'll be a good free throw shooting team. But credit to USF. They're a great team. They really are. They're definitely going to be in contention in that league. and there's some good teams, as you know, in that league, but they're going to win a lot of games. They're well coached. They're tough kids. They can score, and they're hard to score on. So that was a great team we beat, and credit to our fans for coming out. We had one of the largest crowds in November, I heard. The largest. Okay, I like that. But we felt it. You know, when USF made a run, they lifted us up and got us through, you know, some fatigue moments, and it was great.
With regards to the defense, especially in the first half there, 24 points.
Yeah.
30% field goal shooting. You know, how did that kind of set the tone for the game? And,
Yeah.
you know, when you're able to hold an offense like that to that few points in 20 minutes, how much does that set you up for success?
Huge. But it wasn't going to be won in the first half against a good team like that. We knew that. And they're, you know, that's what's scary about a team like that hanging around is they can go whack, whack, whack if you don't stop them. And all of a sudden they've gone a 9-0 run and you're behind. And so we held them to 4 threes, and you know, it was one of their bigger guys that got 2 of them. So we did a great job on their guards, limiting their looks at 3, and we made more threes than them. So I thought that, and I thought the rebounding was going to be, if we could beat them on the glass, and if we could, you know, get more threes than them, they were going to have a hard time beating us. I didn't count on us missing 13 free throws, but it doesn't matter. We got the job done. So
They did make a couple runs, including one there.
We did.
You know, just kind of what was the resiliency of your guys?
Yeah.
They never took the lead in the game.
no, but I never felt like it was it was at all safe, especially with an explosive offense like what they have. So.
You mentioned on Tuesday not running any specific plays against Vanguard. How was that transition to running plays and play calling?
With some of our new guys, we just missed on a couple things that we won't miss on in the weeks to come. You know, our timing was just a little off, and first half, Omar has a dunk if we throw him the ball in the right spot, and on and on. And we had a few of those. So those things all get cleaned up with time and timing. The more reps you get in games, the better you're off. But I thought we executed pretty well. There's some stuff. But, you know, like I said, part of it in November is just figuring out what you have, I thought we did a really good job. We felt like we had a mismatch there, and we went after it for a little bit, and that helped us. So we did a pretty good job of those things, and the right guys had the right amount of shots mostly. But like I said, this team is going to be different guys on different nights. We got a lot of guys that didn't do a ton tonight that you're going to see do a lot for us this year. So, you kind of hang your hat on the guys you know, the known, and until those other guys, the unknown becomes the known, and it just takes time for that.
With that said, though, I mean, you're a big 3. I mean, there's not many teams
Right.
in America maybe that can have 3 guys like that. I mean, how nice is that going to be to know you can get 15 or whatever from 3 different guys?
Yeah.
And in terms of star power, it just seems like that's something you guys maybe haven't had something like that.
Well, and just you just know what you're going to get out of those guys. You know, no matter what's happened during the game, you know that they're going to find a way to get stuff done, and they always do, those 3. And, it was a little goofier down the stretch than we usually are. But it's November 11th. We're going to clean that stuff up.
In terms of, I know that there's bigger games ahead, but just every win counts, every game matters, at the end of the season, whatever. Just knowing the run you have to get this game.
Oh, boy.
To get this game and just have it and now be 2-0.
Yeah.
What's ahead?
Yeah, at this, where we're sitting right now, 2-0 is a heck of a lot better than 1-1. Especially the dividends this win is going to pay throughout the year, because they'll be a 20-plus win team, no doubt about it.
On Chibuzo, it looks like he built some muscle. He looks like he's playing a little bit more physical. Max and Tyson mentioned he's a little bit more comfortable in the offense, but how much of a step forward has he taken this offseason?
Huge, and that's just the development, and that's what we're committed to. That's why you get guys like Buzo who love to work and love to be in the gym and work, and he's just going to continue to get better this year. There's a lot of guys on this roster that are just scratching the surface. I mean, plus, Tyson's not going 4 for 7 from the line. He's going to go 7 for 7. And, same with Mac. Mac's missed a lay-in down the street. He's not going to do, we've seen that. We all know. But I was really excited about the way Keene gives us a lift, the energy. It came in right away. Offensive putback. Andrew, stuff I've seen at practice you guys haven't seen yet, and it's coming. I mean, some of you saw it in Canada, but those guys can really help this team. And that's going to be huge in the stretch that we have, with 4 games in about 8 or 9 days.
We'll cut it there, but there is a little more. If you want to get that, you can get that on the YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. You can hear from Coach Rice. You can hear from the players. The full interviews, I believe, are already up or will be up shortly on the ICCU YouTube channel, and we appreciate them for their sponsorship. Sorry for Kareem the Dream. Sam Howell's a dog. That my understanding is that the Seahawks just blew the lead and let them tie the game late. So that is a rough one there for the Seahawk fans. Let's see here. Degenhart has a real chance Mountain West Player of the Year if he stays healthy. Totally agree with that. I think that he certainly does. I think for him to have 17 in his first game, 17 and 5, that's going to be maybe what his season average is. He's going to be right there, I think, all season long. Omar was a great addition. 9 points, 4 rebounds again tonight, and he's really battles in there on the inside and just really is a tough competitor that's going to give you tough minutes when he's out there and goes for those loose balls and things. I totally agree. Kareem the Dream, no need to be sorry. The Niners got it done. Yes, okay, Niners fan. How was the crowd? I mentioned earlier, Bill, great crowd, 10,520, the largest crowd for a November game in the history of ExtraMile Arena. So 40-plus years here. And this team is the biggest crowd they've ever had in the month of November. Shout out to Mo Silla. I don't know if I can turn this or not. I'll see if I can. Look at Mo Silla. They've been out here for maybe this game's been over for maybe over an hour at this point. And Mo Silla is still out here shooting free throws. He's been running wind sprints. He's been doing post moves. Major props to Mo Silla. Didn't get to play in the game tonight, and it's obviously been a tough go for him. Only got a couple minutes last game. But major props to Big Mo, who's out here listening to some music, playing basketball, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's been out here the entire time that we've been out here, and Mo is working extremely hard, and he deserves it for it's a Sunday afternoon. Everyone else has gone home, the arena's empty, and there's Mo Silla still out there taking shots, and an hour after the game or whatever it's been. So. It's pretty cool to see for Big Mo. So we're going to take one more time out, thank our last group of sponsors here, and then we will get to our Tyson Degenhart Player of the Game and our final thoughts and your final thoughts. So don't go anywhere. One more time out, and we'll be back right after this. You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Give them a call, 229-8222. Bronco Nation News, a proud client of United Commercial Insurance. We highly recommend you do as well at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. The Raines family is happy to have made the switch to Boise Dentistry Co. Highly recommend you do as well. Dr. Miner and his staff, full family dentistry for the whole family. They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist, and we highly recommend you check them out. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. You may think you're happy with your dentist. You'll be even happier if you make the switch to Dr. Miner and Company. Check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually. That's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. Or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/Meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out. Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. Playtimberstone.com. All right, final segment of the show here as we are at courtside at ExtraMile Arena, the Cutwater Studios, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails pick a couple up at your local gas station or grocery store. And as I said earlier, this may be a cutwater night for myself tonight after a crazy 24, 30 hours, whatever it's been. Again, we'll have the press conference live at noon tomorrow. Boise State Athletic Director Jeremiah Dickey meeting with the media on the firing of Andy Avalos. So we will get to that tomorrow. And by the way, here's Mo Silla again. Now he's running sprints. Look at this dude out here running sprints. Game's been over for like an hour and a half. The entire arena is gone. No one's here. Mo Silla got 0 time in the game today. Didn't even get to play. And here he is out here running back and forth, doing wind sprints and things, and trying to stay in shape and be ready whenever the team needs him. So shout out Big Mo. That's pretty cool. I definitely ain't running wind sprints. I can tell you that anytime soon. So the Matt Bowsher Real Estate Player of the Game. Let's get to that right now. We got a lot of good choices in there, but I think for the first game of the season, the Matt Bowsher Real Estate Player of the Game has to be Tyson Degenhart. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 34 minutes in his season debut. So major shout out to Tyson Degenhart, and thanks to Bowsher Real Estate. Make sure you check them out. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. They can help you with any of your real estate needs, buying a home, selling a home at BowsherRealEstate.com. I saw Matt today, and again, we'll be seeing Matt tomorrow morning. Travis Hawks, Matt Bowsher for the live show tomorrow at 9 a.m. as we talk football, we talk basketball, a lot of things there on Bronco Nation News. Again, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. will be our live show. Make sure you check that out. So again, this was a game, kind of my final thoughts here. This was a game that Boise State needed to win. Super tough schedule coming up. They go to Clemson on Sunday, they're number 45, I believe, in KenPom. So that's going to be a quad 1 game. They got some brutal teams in that tournament. They got St. Mary's coming up. I mean, this was a game that Boise State had to win here and get to 2-0 ahead of what is going to be a brutal stretch here moving forward. So a big win for Boise State. San Francisco is going to win a lot of games. That's going to be a game that's going to look good on the resume and help the computer numbers throughout the season. And, Boise State battled, got up, never were able to, completely put San Francisco away, but San Francisco never was able to tie the game. Boise State led from start to finish, and nice win for Boise State as they win this one 63-58. We appreciate the great Nate Lowry for his help with Boise State Media Relations and everybody involved for helping out with the media seating and the post game and everything. So appreciate Nate and everybody for their help. And again, Boise State wins it 63-58. We'll be live at 9 a.m. with talking football and basketball. And then again, noon tomorrow, we'll stream the Jeremiah Dickey press conference live after Boise State fires Andy Avalos today. So details probably coming from that tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned there for that. If you're new to our show and just found us out today, as a lot of you have, thanks to the Google searches and things with the news of the day for Andy Avalos, hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button. There's a little red subscribe button down there in the corner of the screen. Would love to have you join us on YouTube and obviously the website as well. BNN 50 Deal is the website. BNN 50 Deal. You get a 1-year subscription for $50. Mike Prater is going to have a column up tonight, and that'll be available for subscribers. Can't wait to hear what Mike Prater's thoughts are on Andy Avalos being relieved of his duties as head coach, and you got to be a subscriber to read it. So BNN 50 Deal is that promo code, and we got the big promo coming up. As I told you guys, we're giving away a private jet trip for 2 to the San Diego game at the end of the season. So if you want to go and have a chance to win a private jet trip for 2 to San Diego, the VIP basketball experience, you have to be a yearly subscriber of Bronco Nation News. So we're going to give our first prize away, I think, next Friday. We're going to every couple of weeks give away some prizes for subscribers. So the sooner you sign up, the more prizes you're eligible to win. If you're a monthly subscriber, you got to move over to the yearly subscription. We can't have you sign up for $7 and then be eligible for the contest if somebody's paying $50 or $70. So round trip for 2 on a private jet, 2 tickets to the game, and a 1-night hotel stay included in this package. And it's for paying yearly subscribers of Bronco Nation News. So appreciate the ones that have already signed up. And if you're going to support us with our coverage here at BNN, we would love to have you support us with a subscription. And as a bonus, you're entered to win the private jet trip at the end of the season. We'll make that drawing sometime in late January, early February for the game on March 8th. So that'll wrap it up for the post-game show. I still have a story to write on the basketball game. Got to update the football story. Mike Prater's column is coming in, so we'll edit that and get that posted on the site as well. So still several hours of work tonight for the BNN crew on what is becoming a very busy day and has become already a very busy day with the news that Andy Avalos relieved of his duties as head coach of the football team. So you can read my short story that I got up on the site earlier today at BroncoNationNews.com. And then you can watch Mike Prater, John Mallory, and I. We talked for about 45 minutes this morning, and that's up on the site as well. Our instant reaction to the firing of Andy Avalos. So the arena's pretty much empty. I'm going to start writing my story and move on to the next task here on my list. But again, nice win for Boise State, 63-58. Broncos needed this one. They were able to get it, and it's a nice win for the basketball team, 63-58. They're 2-0, and the gauntlet is ahead. And on the basketball side, we'll talk to you next from Clemson, South Carolina. As long as the plane delays are on time and stuff, we're going to make the attempt. Football game in Logan, Utah at 5 p.m. next Saturday, and we're going to try to get to the airport for a midnight red-eye, then to get to Charlotte and then drive down to Clemson. So if we can pull it off, I may be the first person ever to watch a football game in Logan, Utah on a Saturday night and a basketball game in Clemson, South Carolina on a Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to see if we can do that to get you guys the coverage you deserve at Bronco Nation News. So appreciate it. Have a great rest of your evening. Again, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. We're in the Cutwater Studios, more than 30 flavors of premixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. And this program would not be possible without our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. So thank you to rowpaint.com. Those concrete coatings, the interior, exterior of your residential painting, any of your painting needs, our friends at rowpaint.com can help you out. So check them out, roepaint.com. Again, 63-58, the final score. Thanks to BVA, Ball Ventures, Allquist, all of our great sponsors at BNN, and Taco Bell, of course. We're very appreciative of Taco Bell and their support of the scholarships and their support of BNN. We were out there earlier this week, told you about the breakfast. I still have a couple Taco Bell gift cards left, so if you subscribe to BNN, you can send me an email with your address, and I'll send you a Taco Bell gift card, $20 at Taco Bell if you sign up for a yearly subscription to BNN, and then that gets you in the contest for the private jet as well. So highly recommend the breakfast. My kids have literally asked me like 5 days in a row if they can go back to Taco Bell. So we'll have to maybe do that one of these days here soon, because they just loved the breakfast at Taco Bell. So appreciate all of our great sponsors, and looking forward to a busy week ahead. Press conference tomorrow. We'll have the live show in the morning first, 9 a.m. Join us for more on the firing of Andy Avalos, the basketball team being 2-0, the state of the athletic department, and more. And then, as I said, we'll have the live press conference at noon with Jeremiah Dickey talking about the change at head coach. And I believe Spencer Danielson, the interim head coach, and Bush Hamden will still talk to the media tomorrow as well. So we'll have that all for you at BroncoNationNews.com. So go check out the site, BroncoNationNews.com. Read all the content, watch all the videos, subscribe if you can. And at a minimum, make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We're building that thing up. The subscribe button's in the bottom corner of the screen. We'd love to have you subscribe, like it, smash the like button, as all the kids, YouTubers say. And I'm going to go start writing a story. So have a great rest of your evening. Again, 63-58, Boise State wins it. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow on Bronco Nation News Live. Have a good rest of your evening. From ExtraMile Arena, this is BJ Rains saying thanks for checking out Bronco Nation News. Appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.